What's going on, everyone? So, Giannis Antetokounmpo, this saga just never ceases to end. But one of the teams that is now all of a sudden linked to a potential Giannis Antetokounmpo trade, per reports from Ramona Shelburne, who said, like, hey, Cavs are interested in a couple young guys, and one of those teams that has one of those young guys are the Cleveland Cavaliers in Evan Mobley. Again, if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you're looking to, if you're trading Giannis, you're looking to get kind of those young foundation pieces that, because you don't really have assets, and the assets they do have, you don't really have control over, and they're like, swaps or like lesser of the picks, right? Like it's, some 3-team deals and mixes. So Milwaukee just isn't in a position to where, hey, we can just bottom out entirely and just rely on just, hey, as long as we draft good, we're in great shape. No, like you need to kind of get those players already. Hope you hit on some diamonds in the rough, throughout the, your run here in the next few years. But really, you're looking to kind of get that building block, that foundation piece or two, right? And Evan Mobley would be great. He's 24 years old. He is very talented, defense player of the year type guy. He's not having as good of a year overall, and he does have some injury concerns. So there definitely are some question marks with him. But Cavs are just like in a very different situation this year, and he'd kind of get to be that building block and that piece for you. I mean, even despite, like I said, some of the struggles this year, on the surface, he's averaging 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists, right? Like he's an incredible talent. He is a guy that could be that anchor defensively, and just could be an interesting piece, right? Like, and kind of questions like, do you keep Miles Turner and kind of go Miles Turner and Evan Mobley for a year and kind of see how that works as like a defensive front court? There definitely would be some options there. And if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, there's a lot of sense to be made. So the other team that was mentioned in that was the Philadelphia 76ers and VJ Edgecombe, right? And I don't really think that makes sense for either side. The Cavs make sense for both sides. If the Cleveland Cavaliers end up fizzling out early again in the playoffs, right? You're getting close to Donovan Mitchell potentially leaving and departing. And you have James Harden. They plan on kind of keeping James Harden around. You're kind of all in, right? And so if you can go and turn basically Evan Mobley into Giannis Antetokounmpo, and then have James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and Giannis Antetokounmpo with Jalen Tyson and, Jared Allen, which you're probably going to have to trade Jared Allen because I don't know about that fit. But if that works, you're probably the best team in basketball. You're already one of the best teams in basketball, but now you're probably certainly the best team in basketball. And might be enough to put you into, hey, here's an NBA championship, which at that point, it was justified trading Evan Mobley. Problem is, if you trade Evan Mobley, you don't win a championship. Then it's like you traded your 24-year-old foundation piece that now, you don't have, and this just didn't work over the years, right? But Giannis is better than Evan Mobley. The likelihood of Evan Mobley being anywhere close to the level of Giannis Antetokounmpo is very slim, even at 24 years old and still very young, and who knows what he does, and how he continues to grow. But again, he's also going to be maintained being kind of the third option, right? Like, let him go to Milwaukee. If you're Giannis, it's like, I get to play with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, right? Like, and I get to stay in the East, which supposedly he wants to do. Supposedly he wants, because his family is in Greece and stuff. That's why he wants to stay there. And, again, like, you're going from Milwaukee to Cleveland, right? So it's not like he's coming from like Miami or something like that, where it's like, oh, like, man, would he really want to go to Cleveland? Like, yeah, he probably doesn't care either way. So he just wants to win, right? Like, for him to go there, you don't even have to make the argument or the push of like, that's where he chose to go. Like, you could, the Milwaukee Bucks could even protect him and just go like that, like, hey, they were willing to trade Evan Mobley. We're not going to get a player better than that. So we went and did it. We went and got Evan Mobley and whatever else we could get. And then again, if you're Cleveland, you're already all in. You got Donovan Mitchell and James Harden likely this year and next year, and you don't want to lose Donovan Mitchell. Like, is Evan Mobley leading you to potentially being a title contender? No. Like, you need Donovan Mitchell, right? Like, obviously, I would consult and ask Donovan Mitchell, but like, why wouldn't he want Giannis Antetokounmpo? Why wouldn't James Harden want Giannis Antetokounmpo? And not just that, like, Evan Mobley's making like 50 plus million. So you don't have to, it's not something where you have to go and trade 15 different, players to go get Giannis. You don't have to stack up a bunch of things. You can almost just swap it out, right? Like, so you're not that far. Like, obviously, again, there'd be some configurating. I mean, technically, they could get LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo next season, right? Sign and trade Jared Allen, and that's could be a way to clear cap space. Trade Evan Mobley for Giannis, right? Problem is you'd have to stay under the first apron. But like I said, Evan Mobley and Giannis's contract is not too far off, so you could just do that swap because you'd be hard capped after that. I don't know. I might have to do a video about that because, I mean, thinking about it, right? Like, what if James Harden and LeBron are like, hey, we'll take $20 million each, right? Like, and you sign and trade, and then even if you had to trade let's say you had to trade Jalen Tyson because it's like the Lakers are like, hey, like, dude, we're helping you get Giannis and LeBron. There's no way we're doing this, right? And Lakers are one of the few teams that could absorb Jared Allen and his contract, and then also make sense for the Lakers, right? It's like, and you're gonna have to use your picks and assets to go land Giannis. So it's like, okay, we'll sell Evan Mobley plus whatever else we have to go get Giannis, and then Jalen Tyson and Jared Allen for LeBron James. Now you have James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Sheesh. Anyway, don't want to get too ahead of myself, but it's an interesting thought. I think this actually makes sense for the Cavs and Giannis. I think it's a win-win for both sides if you can pull this off. If you can make this happen and you can make this work, I think you do so. Obviously, again, depending on what happens. Like, if the Cavs win the championship this year, I don't think you do this. I think you stay the course and just see, like, okay, we were able to do that with like a quarter of a season of James Harden. Like, what can we do with like a full season and maybe kind of revamp, maybe get another depth piece or something? I think it depends on what's the final end result with this Cavs team this year, right? But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. If you enjoy these types of videos, truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.